Good evening and welcome to the Geek Show, your weekly show of what's chic in geek. And tonight we are actually going to be playing our first ever D&D game with a group of newbies. So hello, this is Clagnuts the Great, and over to my right we have...
I am God.
So God. So I take... as we don't look anything like Drone and Andy, who are on every other week. These are obviously two totally different people.
Two of my creations.
Excellent. We have 5 of us playing tonight D&D.
The magic number of 5,
including myself, who have either no experience at all at D&D or played very, very little. So this is probably going to be car crash television, as they like to call it. So a quick word from our sponsor, and then we will start introducing everybody.
Hi everybody, I'm Drone.
And I'm Dave.
And we are the co-creators of the V2A Wasteland Chronicle Doomsday graphic novel. The first in a series of post-apocalyptic comics coming to you.
Glad you said that.
Very good, Dave. My day job, I'm the lead singer of the post-apocalyptic band V2A. So you may have seen us in some of the post-apocalyptic festivals or some of the festivals around Europe and the US.
I'm the co-founder of an independent comic company called Accent UK.
Best people in the comic industry to work on this comic. Friends and also people we really admire and absolutely love their work. So first of all, we've got the legendary PJ Holden from 2000 AD. Vlad, and Vlad is actually the V2A artist.
We've got Matt Soft doing the colouring, 2000 AD, and I think Heavy Metal.
Ryan Brown, who is the cover artist for Marvel, DC, 2000 AD. Ryan's art is just absolutely breathtaking.
Gustavo Vargas, who's a Peruvian artist.
Hi guys, we really do need your support to help make this comic a reality. So please check out the epic rewards over on the right hand side, which include everything from limited edition, signed, very, very exclusive and uber collectible.
And we are back. So over to you, God. Would you like to do an introduction of what the viewers will be witnessing tonight?
Initially, I would like to say that God approves of that message. It is God approved. So yes, go out and get your V2A comics, graphic novels, and merchandise immediately. Otherwise, you hate God and you make baby Jesus cry. So tonight is D&D. It's a home-founded, homemade little adventure, a one-shot where things will happen and there'll be adventure and excitement, tears and cake. Maybe not cake. But yes, we will see how we go. We'll see how we get on. And at some point, I'll lose this weird, silly voice I've suddenly put on for no reason.
It's very good. You do sound posh. Should we bring in our first?
There will be a new voice for characters. I do character voices, you know.
do? Oh, excellent. So should we bring in our first victim? I mean,
yes, bring
first
forth
player.
the first sacrifice.
So our first one is...
Hello.
Snout the flatulent.
Snort the flatulent.
Oh, snout or snort. Okay.
Snort.
First of all, Snout. Have you ever played D&D before?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
There is snout wrong with that snort. There is snout wrong with getting
no, definitely.
I like the way you didn't bother dressing up. It's just it's a Wednesday night, which is obviously
Wednesday.
S&M night.
Normal
so,
Wednesday evening.
Couldn't even get out of his work clothes.
No.
Are we ready for another one?
There are more.
There are more. Okay, and here we are. We have Zokid the Young. Hello, Zokid.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I look forward to this.
We will have you many times before the evening is out.
Cool.
A quick question, sir. Have you ever played D&D before?
This guy.
Never ever.
Here.
This is the first time ever playing D&D, so I look forward to dying instantly.
Excellent.
As long as possible.
So be it. I shall make it so. Your wish is my command.
I do like the hood on God. I think it's very good. It's very goth. Okay, and here's the next one. All the way from up north, we have Barrel. Barrel, how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Excellent. Well, great to have you on the show. You were coming on last week, but we did have a technical problem. But we have enticed the gods of electronic to allow you on tonight.
No relation.
It was Argos. Argos have solved the problem.
Argos, yes. Have you ever played?
I used to play back in the 80s, but I haven't played since then. So this is going to be interesting.
Okay.
It's like that, but younger. It's fine.
It's like that, but younger. Have we got room for one more victim?
Always room for one more. Coach Trick's welcome.
I'm feeling sort of maybe the God of Thunder. It's only all the way from Marvel Universe. It's Thor, everybody.
Hello.
The movie magic that Marvel produces quite remarkable.
Seriously, the CGI.
As God, I'm thoroughly impressed by Marvel's ability to change the mighty Thor.
Nobody told me about the dress code, so I don't have a silly hat.
What do you mean silly?
You have more than enough silly forehead for all of us.
Silly hats? What? So, quick question to Thor. Thank you very much for coming off the set of Love and Thunder. Can't wait for that film. Will be good. Have you ever played D&D before?
No, I haven't.
Excellent. So, more virgins for the pot. Over to you, God.
Excellent. Well, there we go. I can see again. God is blind like justice. God sees nothing, which is going to make problems later on for rolling dice. But it'll be fine. We'll work. I now kind of look like a goth fisherman, though, I will say.
Arr.
Arr. Arr. I'm a goth fisherman. My favorite letter B, the C. Okay, so welcome to our first session of D&D. Hopefully this will go rather better than it is already. So, you are all a group of homunculi. Homunculi, for those who are uninitiated with my creations, are essentially miniature versions of everyday folks. So you're like regular people, but very small. You're 3 feet tall each, and you're in the employ of the mighty God. Going so well, I've already forgot what his name is.
Trevor. Trevor.
Writing names down is good for God because God's memory is poor. God, well, that's really weird. That's panic mode.
So can our God be called Trevor?
He can. Trevor, the mighty Trevor, creator of all things in this realm. Trevor the Unlikely, as he is known to his peers and his people in the area, has created you to help him with his everyday comings and goings of things he wishes to be done. You are there to fall upon your sword should he wish. You are there to clean his crustaceans if need be. Whatever Trevor the Unlikely needs, you guys are it. Trevor the Unlikely has a mission for you today. Trevor the Unlikely needs you to go and retrieve the hammer of Grabthar. Copyright pending. He will send you on this mighty quest with naught or snout, but those clothes on your backs and your weapons. He gathers you all together in his main conjuration room and lets you know of your mission. And before you can say anything to discourage or dissuade him from sending you on such a perilous and potentially deadly mission, with a clap of his hands, there is a bright flash of light. I can't do special effects, you're just getting a clap of the hands. Light! And you all vanish. A few moments pass where you are all lost in some kind of ether-esque world of who knows what, of just pure light, before eventually you suddenly all find yourselves in a long, dark room. That's it. Over to you guys. Now you play.
All right, do we take it in turns? Do we?
You will now do as you wish, when you wish. So work as a team to try and solve puzzles, work your way through this devilish maze I've created of about 8 rooms.
Hold on a minute. We've all got dark vision, haven't we?
You have.
Oh, hey!
Dark vision.
Well, it's like somebody was paying attention during the
I was paying
briefing.
attention.
Well done,
Hang on,
Thor.
is that the
The only bit
perception
that-
thing?
You could use perception to look around you. That is also a cracking idea.
Let's do
Okay,
that.
who's got the highest perception thing? I've got a +2.
I've got
I am
plus
God.
three.
I have plus 28. But I'm not playing, so it doesn't matter.
I have a +3.
Yeah, I'm +3 as well.
God sees
I've got
all.
+3.
Okay, so whichever one of you would like to make a perception check, roll your d20 and add your perception to it.
I feel like Glagnuts should do the first roll.
I'm more into
Do the
whacking
honours.
stuff. I think I'm more into whacking stuff.
Start low and work your way up. So Clagnuts, you've got the honours.
All right then. So it's a D20.
Your d20, that's the one that's kind of like almost round, but not quite. It's got 20
I got it.
sides on it.
I got it. It is
This is a
a
clue.
5.
Excellent. So who would like to make a perception check? Who would actually like to look around the room and see what's happening? As opposed to Clagnuts, who has just looked at the floor and gone, there's ground down there, guys. Look, floor beneath their feet.
I'll give it a go.
Got him.
I got a 15.
That's more like it. So, with your 15, you look around and you tell the rest of the group what you see. Around you are a very large room, about 60 feet in length, about 30 feet wide, and about 80 feet high. The floor is made of wood. The walls are made of wood. The ceiling is made of wood. There is a small amount of light at the far end of the room coming from the ceiling. Behind you is a large metal disc leaning against the wall. And to your right, there is a hole in the wall, quite a rough shaped hole, maybe a doorway of some kind. And at the far end of the room is another opening in the wall.
Oh.
Can we look at the disc in more detail?
You may approach the disc and roll an intuitive check.
Go on. Oh, well, all of us.
Okay.
Whoever's looking, whoever wants to walk up and
Okay,
have a
I'm
look at it.
looking. And
Yeah.
I have 16.
16, excellent. You can see that this is a large metal disc, quite heavy, quite thick. It's leaning on one of its edges. There looks like there's some kind of engravings on it, but you can't really make out. Over time and age and weathering, you can no longer see what any of this is, but there is definitely some kind of pattern was once engraved on this large disc. It stands about 6 feet high, so it's about twice your height.
We don't recognise the language, or we just can't make out the.
You can't really make it out.
Okay.
Okay. Can we move it?
You can certainly try. If one of you would like to try your strength.
Got 11 plus.
11?
Do I add the 2? 11 plus.
So you add your
2?
strength to it. So plus it's 13.
Yeah, 13.
Would anyone like to assist?
Yeah, go on. Oh, I got an 18 plus 3, so that's 21.
21.
Oh.
Thor starts to move and it rocks a little backwards and forwards, but he can't really get it to get going. Barrel just walks up and kind of grunts at it, calls it a bastard, and it just rolls out of the way, exposing a rather large hole behind it.
We should definitely go through that hole, right?
I think we should. What about if we push somebody through the hole?
I'm not willing to sacrifice to go through that
so
hole.
it begins.
And so it begins. I reckon.
It always does.
Who has the lowest strength? I'm on 17.
I'm on
Yeah, me
14.
too.
14.
I'm 13.
Oh,
I should go
Zoid Kid.
17.
I think we push.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
push Zoid Kid through the hole.
Okay. Zokin, are you going to allow this to happen, or are you going to try?
Yeah. I'm a willing sacrifice for this. Yeah.
So yes, you bodily grab Zoid Kid and
Chuck him through
throw
the
him
hole.
through the hole. Yeah, chuck him through the hole. He disappears into the darkness on the other side of the hole with a loud thud.
Will we ever see him again?
I don't know, will you? We'll see, will we?
Can we shout to him?
You can.
Zoid Kid, are you there?
I think so.
Zoid Kid, yes, he is there. He hears you.
Yes.
His
What
head
can you
pops
see?
Yeah, can I do a perception?
You can indeed. Yep.
All right. I don't know if it was 20 or was it 1.
I would just
That's
like to say
20.
your master is Polonius. We've just found out.
All right.
Polonius has contacted me from the ether and informed me that his name is not Trevor but Polonius.
Felonius is
Mostly
giving
Like
me
Trevor better.
Yeah, Trevor's sticking now. Trevor's fine.
Yeah.
So what did you roll, Sophie?
a natural 20 plus 3.
Holy
so
crap.
23.
Okay. No, a natural 20. Forget the 3. 3 counts for shit
Damn.
in this case. The natural 20 is as high as you can get. That is perfect. Zokid is off again. Somewhere in a distant way off land, an Indian has literally exploded on a toilet somewhere. As Zokid rolls in another natural 20. You look around, and you can see quite clearly around the room. There is a small Zokid-shaped imprint on the floor where you've landed, and the dust has been parted because of it. You stand up and dust yourself off. As you look around the room, you can see that you're in a very similar room to the one you were just in. However, this one is wider than long. So this one's about 60 feet long, 60 feet wide, but only about 30 feet deep. There are 2 large holes in the wall ahead of you, and there is quite a strong smell in the room, a kind of fetid, rotting smell. Not pleasant.
It can't be Snort because he's with us.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've not
Snort's
farted in
sense
that room yet.
precedes him. Snort's sense precedes him in all rooms, so he's never late for anything.
Oh,
So
good.
can I throw a rope up for you guys to cool down? We have rope, don't we?
Oh, we do.
Is it full?
Or could you just stand underneath and break our fall?
I'm quite a spindly lad.
We could climb down. Do we know how deep it is?
The room on the other side of the hole?
Yeah.
It's exactly it's on the same level as you're standing.
Oh, okay.
You've literally just
so it's
pressed
not-
in,
right.
hit the
So we
ground
just
on the far
walk
side.
through to him.
We just
Yes.
walk through.
Can we through him?
Or climb down if you wish.
Yeah, we're
It seems
close.
Yes.
a little irrelevant. But yes,
So most of us walk through, but Clagnut's just crawls
Magnus
along the
tying,
floor.
tying himself
Sorry, my
off.
wise.
And
Yeah.
he's doing it Batman style.
Exactly.
Climbing
Be a
through the
running-
hole.
Is this going to be a running thing where we just throw Zokid through every single
I
door?
think you're getting our idea.
I think that is standard
Cool.
practice.
It is
does
standard
happen.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
Do
all
throw
then?
him through,
Should we all move as
throw
a
him through the
group?
stinky hole?
I think we should go in. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
stinky
should
hole.
move towards the stinky hole.
Okay.
Don't all go in. Go to the stinky hole and then throw Zoid Kid through.
Yes.
What do you reckon, guys? Arms up if you agree
over
with that
that.
Yep.
tactic.
Yeah.
Can I hold my
agreed.
spear so I become one
You
long
can.
thrown spear?
Yeah, you could be.
Actually,
No, right. So if
Harpoon
there's
man.
something there, you stab it as you go.
That is
Exactly.
a great idea.
You could look at
Perfect.
the holes as well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe
Oh,
we
yeah.
should check out the
Yeah,
whole.
it might be an idea.
Look at the holes to start with.
He wants
Okay,
to look at the
so,
hole then.
so you go over and you approach the holes. You can see that these holes, one of them has this nasty looking liquid kind of running down from the bottom of it. They're about 1.5 foot from the ground, about 2 feet high, about 2 feet wide. Zoki, because you rolled a natural 20, you see all this quite easily. You can see that there's kind of a lot of scratches around the outside of the holes, like someone's scratching to get in or maybe scratching to climb out.
Oh.
The other hole doesn't seem quite as bad. It's a bit stinky, but it's nowhere near as bad as this one is. This hole is proper nasty.
I feel like the smelly hole is the best hole, right?
Well,
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
wise words on a Friday night.
And your missus seemed like such a nice girl earlier
Yeah,
on.
I know. So innocent.
Not anymore.
I think they throw in Zoid Kid through, holding the spear in case he meets anything on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
so
the
it's
stinky
trying to get
hole.
in or out.
Yeah.
In the stinky
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
Spear first.
Okay.
Right, do I need to roll anything for that?
You do not initially, no. So you're bodily collected by the other members of your friends and thrown in quite quickly into this hole. Fortunately, very fortunately for you, your spear actually wedges in the entrance to the hole as it's wider than the hole is, and you do a kind of half somersault into the hole and back out again onto the floor. At that point, you kind of look at the group as your hair has now been streaked down with this gloopy, I don't know what ungodly creation is.
This sounds a lot like divine intervention, to be honest.
Potentially.
It does.
And as you kind of turn quite wide-eyed at the group and vomit on the floor in front of them due to the stench that you've just taken a great lungful from, something large and, let's not call it solid, but not liquid either, travels past the hole that you've just gone into and out of again at quite speed, and the room suddenly fills with a very, very intense stank. And a moment later, you hear what sounded a bit like liquid hitting liquid, but not quite. And now you can hear kind of scratching and skittering coming out of this hole.
Should we go? Should we throw Zoid Kid in the other hole?
Can I just like, can I just say something? We do actually all have 50 foot of rope.
Yeah, but do you want to go down there? If it's
Not really.
got-
I'm just pointing that out.
I know it's a good idea. I like the idea.
Can I pick my spear up first? Because I know we're going to forget that.
You may indeed take your spear.
Good.
Thank you.
Good, well done.
Yeah, next time, point it forwards, not side.
Yeah.
If I've got an idea, we got a tinder box. I'm going to light a match and throw it down the stinky hole, see if it explodes.
Can we move back first, please?
I was hoping nobody thinks
You
of
like
that.
the match, we're going back a bit.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, we'll stand back and then we'll throw a match down the stinky hole, see if it explodes.
Okay, how far back would you like to stand?
The next room.
The other end of the room.
all the way
Okay.
back.
Am I hearing Clagnus will light a match after you close the room back off with the large disc?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, give it a go.
Excellent.
Give it a go.
Excellent. Okay, so who would like to? So you're all moving back into the previous room, and you're going to put the disc back across the doorway, trapping Clagnus in the smelly room with his matches. Yes,
Yep.
is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Clagnus.
Yes.
If you would like to, let's roll a. Let's have a quick look in our book of books.
Oh,
This is the downside with mood lighting. You can't see shit.
yes.
Let's roll a dexterity for me first.
Oh, bloody hell. What's that on a D20?
So D20, everything's D20 unless I say otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, always a D20.
It is a 17.
Ooh, that's a good one. And then if you can roll a Constitution check for me.
Constitution. So I've got +1 on there. I've got 13.
Okay. I will just quickly roll a dice. What does that say? Oh, that's not good. Unfortunately, not good for me. Great for you guys.
Hey!
So,
Yay.
as the four of you standing outside, kind of listening, waiting to hear what happens, you hear the striking of this tinder box, and there's a moment's silence, and then there's not so much an audible noise, but you can definitely feel something pass through you all as the large metal disc kind of moves forwards from against the wall upright. A large puff of black smoke comes out from behind it, and it leans back up against the wall.
Am I still alive?
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Your Schrodinger's cosmos at the moment.
How do I know if I'm alive or not? Can I look at my feet?
You can. They are currently on opposite corners of the room.
Okay,
Look,
so we're
you got
going to have
dark
to open
vision.
this disc. Yes, we're going to have
Yeah.
to open this disc again to look in there.
Yeah.
Go on,
So
guys.
you roll the disc away again. You do notice the disc on the inside of it is actually quite warm. And there's an
is
odd
not going well.
smell. An odd
Yeah.
smell, shall we say. Not exactly nasty, but kind of pungent stench. Standing just inside the hole now it kind of looks like Clagnus, but he's head to toe jet black and kind of slightly sizzled and frazzled and almost completely bald on the front half of his body. Like eyebrows, any facial hair's gone, and most of his hair basically to the top of his head has vanished. He has now discovered though. He has discovered now though that that was quite explosive. The gases and God knows what was in that hole.
So if we had done an intelligence check before we done that, he would have.
Well, the Clagnus would have probably failed it, but yes, it would have been interesting.
I do have a very low intelligence.
He would have still struck the match.
I would have still done it just out of devilment, just to see what happens.
However, you do now notice that skittering noise that was coming from the pipe has completely stopped.
So I've killed the rats.
What rats were they?
It's
I
time
didn't see any rats.
to throw Zokid back down the hole.
Yep.
I think it is. I think it is.
Don't even need to go spear first this time.
Okay, so as you approach the hole, you can now, as you kind of look over the precipice into this hole, you can actually see this hole's only about 12 inches deep. The rest of it is now just rubble. There is nothing left other than rubble in this hole now, so there's nowhere to go down there.
Okay, so what's in the other hole?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone want to make a perception check and have a look?
Yeah.
Yep, I'll do one. 12.
Don't take my one. Don't take my one. I rolled 1.
So as Thor looks into the hole, his eyeballs fall out. No more perception checks for him.
Well, hang on. If he's got a 1, he's lucky. He can roll again.
He's lucky you re-roll that one. You got lucky. You're a lucky little Thor.
10. Oh, plus, what was it? Perception is 3, so 13.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the two of you kind of pop your heads into this hole, and you can see there's what looks like liquid at the bottom of it. It's only about 10 feet deep, and it looks like some liquid down there. But there's things floating around, and it smells a little bit. Nothing compared to this other hole you just put your head in. But yeah, it's not the best of holes to look down into, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere other than into water.
So this way is a dead end.
It would seem that way.
Yes. So, should we go back to the other room and look at the doorways that are in the other room then?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But there was a light coming from the ceiling as well, wasn't there?
There was.
There was.
Oh, right.
How tall's the ceiling?
The ceiling was about 60 feet high.
Yeah. And was this hot, like, was it a hole with a light coming through it?
I don't know. Was it?
Do we have to, can I roll a perception?
Perception check.
They're catching on.
17.
Okay. That's plenty.
Plus 3. Yeah.
Okay. So you walk to the far end of the room, and you can see that just off center of the room, there is actually what you hadn't noticed before, quite a large gap in the middle of the ceiling, running the entire length of the room. And at the far end of this gap, there is light pouring through.
Cool. So if you guys throw me in through that hole and I can hold the rope, then you can climb up, right?
I'm liking that idea.
You will struggle to throw anyone 60 feet into the air.
Okay.
It might be a little beyond you.
Is there any weird smells? Is there any weird smells I could set light to explode so it get up in 60 feet in the air?
All that Clagnus can smell, unfortunately, is his own sizzled hair at this point. His nostril hairs are obliterating any other smells he may ever smell again.
Can you throw a spear 60 foot?
You can certainly try.
Oh, and get it wedged in
With
the
the
top
rope
with
on
your
it.
rope on. Yeah.
Remember, you have to go get it back.
We're going to have to use 2 legs
The rope
because
can hold
it's
on to
60 feet.
Yeah. touch 2 bits of rope. Do I have to throw my own
2 bits
spear, or can I give it to someone with better decks?
You can give it to anyone you like.
Who has the best decks?
I don't care who loses your spear.
I've got 13 decks plus 1.
Anyone better than that?
12. No.
We should give it a go. I
I've got a 30. Yeah, give it a go.
So,
Yeah,
if you
go
want to
for
give
it.
it a go, I need 2 dexterity rolls. So, 2 dexterity
4,
rolls
right?
first.
And make sure you tie the rope onto the spear before you throw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can someone
Put
hold
the
on?
pieces of rope together, and someone holds the end.
Yeah, I'll hold the rope. Yeah,
You can attach the end to Clagnuts.
there you go. You can be the anchor.
Okay, so 2 dexterity rolls for me. Who wants to do
Is that-
those?
Who's throwing? Is it 4?
Anyone can roll this. This is to roll to see how well you tie the knots.
All right.
I got a
right.
16 plus 1.
Yeah, and second roll.
I'm not going to
Who's
roll
got-
'cause I'm doomed.
All right. I'll roll. 15 plus nothing. Is this dex? Sorry.
Yeah, dex.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so you tie 2 pieces of rope together, you tie them to the spear, so that's all ready to go.
Ooh.
It will now be a strength check to see how far you can throw it, and whoever rolls that needs to take a dexterity check to see how good their shot is.
Oh.
I've got a plus 2.
I've got a plus 3. It's strength, but dexterity 1. So I can throw it really high, but nowhere near the target.
Do you know
What
that?
about-
I'm plus 2 and plus 1.
What
Go on,
about,
Paul.
can we all stand on each other's shoulders and then throw at them because it would be nearer the
Yeah.
hole?
That's a good idea.
Aha!
There you go.
Aha,
Can we
God.
Yeah, well, yet somewhere there are members of the other groups I've played this with going, "Oh God, here it goes again." Well, yeah,
Right.
yes, try it. I like the sound of this.
Really, the strong lads at the bottom, right? And then the
Yeah,
weak lads at
So,
the
yeah.
top.
yeah.
Give
So
me an order of how you'd like to do this.
I got a strength 17 plus 3. So Clagnut's at the bottom and he smells singed. So he can stand on the rope so it doesn't go anywhere.
I'm
The other
17
end of the
strength as well. So,
All right,
do you want me to go
So am
next?
I.
All right, so you 3 and then Soid Kid and then 4. If 4's throwing.
Yeah.
What's this for? Strength? Strength or dexterity? Sorry, I'm missing it.
This is just to climb on top of each other.
Oh, right.
No,
Sorry.
you don't worry about running for that just yet. So we're having Clagnut's barrel and snout at the bottom, and then Zokid on the top falling about 3 feet, and then Thor will fall about 6 feet. Okay.
Yep.
Just so we know how this is going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
Thor, it's all on you. If you can do a strength and then dexterity roll for me to see how this spear chucking goes. Pretend it's a hammer, it's your thing. So good start. 2. So that's the strength, okay. I know
2 plus 2
dexterity.
plus 2.
Okay,
That's 4.
okay, so let's see how far
Yeah,
this
4.
missile of death goes. Let's see how accurate you are at killing your co-party.
4 plus.
Wow.
Okay, so
4 plus 1, 5.
so kid, if you could do an acrobatics check for me.
I can if I can find it.
Oh, God.
10. Just 10.
10. Okay, you've kind of as Thor dramatically leaps through the air, throwing the spear directly at the floor below him, through the group of people supporting him. You're fortunate enough that you fall to the ground and don't hurt yourself.
Right.
God.
Clagnut's barrel and snout, if you could all roll a dexterity check for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
20.
18 plus 1.
Okay, so Barrel,
Yay!
who was Barrel was stood there kind of checking Clagnut's out, going, "What is that smell? Can anyone else smell that smell? I'm not sure. It's burning something still. Something's still definitely on fire."
Still on fire.
So, kid, if you could roll your damage dice for your spear for me.
Of course.
Oh,
1d6.
It's not going into me, is it?
4.
4.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Barrel, you take 2 points of damage as Thor's mighty throw impales the floor. Fortunately, only removing one of your toes, which is fine. You've had worse. However, yes, this wonderful trapeze act that was going on, this wonderful pyramid of tiny men, ends in a dramatic failure, and Barrel loses a toe.
So I've got first blood then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Congratulations. Yes.
Well,
here, have this toe.
I think the big question is, guys, do we try that again?
Yes. I think so.
Yep, keep going.
Yep, keep going.
Why
He's
not?
got another 7 toes yet, it's fine.
Is there anything else in that room?
We don't talk about the other 2 toes. Barrel, every time anyone asks about Barrel's other 2 missing toes, he just goes quiet and walks away.
Yeah.
There was a crack in the wall.
Hobbles away.
Hobbles away.
Yes.
Yes. Fortunately, you guys as homunculi don't feel pain. So losing a toe is neither here nor there. So, and to be fair, you've looked at it now and it's dirty and it's covered in dust and you're like, I don't really want that back anymore. So,
should we check the random hole in the wall?
Yes.
Which one? The one directly in front of you or the one to your right? There is one back down towards the right, or there's one right in front of you which has got the light shining on it.
Should we go back and check this? Oh, light? Yeah. Do light.
Yeah. Do the light one.
So the light one in front of you. Okay, so
yeah.
You look at this hole. It's about the same size as the hole in the wall that you've just been through into the stinky room. Beyond it, you can see darkness. You can see that there is some kind of light source in there, but from where you are, you can't really make it out where it's coming from or what it is.
So soak it through the wall first.
Or perception
check first.
Yeah.
Perception check first.
Yeah.
Do you get smarter the less toes you have? What a great character.
I do, yes.
Let's look where we're going. I've lost a toe. I had an idea.
Each toe was a -1 on me IQ.
The toes do the thinking. It's fine.
Oh, jeez. It's one better than last time.
Excellent.
We did have a re-roll. We got a re-roll, didn't we?
Only on ones. Only on natural ones.
Oh, on ones. Okay, all right.
Can someone else check the?
Okay, so Barrel's kind of looking through this hole, and he can see that it's still dark, and there's still a light source coming from somewhere. So no new information particularly, but he's now sure of the things that you can all see.
I've got an idea. So can I take my shoe off, set fire with it with one of my matches, because I like my matches, bit of an arsonist, and throw my shoe on fire into the other building, into the other room?
An arse, yes. Arsonist is an arse, definitely.
Can we do that?
Just say at this point, look at you with all your toes.
Well, you say that as he takes his shoe off and it crumbles to dust in his hand and charcoal.
Yeah, because he's burning.
Yeah, you do notice that he's only got 1 toe on that foot.
All right. It was a cunning plan.
I'm sure at some point he will regale us all with a story of why he's missing some toes. But for now, you just look at it and go, well, it sucks to be you. Oh, and you now also have 1 shoe.
What about just as a group idea? Why don't we push Snort through it?
Why don't I just roll a perception check first?
You could do. You could.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm going to just trust him. 15 plus 3.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you stick your head through the hole. You kind of have a good look round. On the other side, you can see there is another room, same dimensions as the room you're in. Again, there is another hole in the wall about halfway along on your right, another hole directly across in front of you. However, what you can see this time is, whereas in the room you're in currently has just a small shaft of light coming from it, this one is lit the entire length of the room and illuminating the room quite brightly. There's quite a bit of dust you can see falling through the light that's coming down, and you can see there are cobwebs all over the place in there, like in all the corners. It looks like nobody's been in this room for a very, very long time.
Cool.
Should we go for it, guys? It's going to be treasure.
Let's go in and have a look.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, should we send Snort in first, just in case it's booby trapped?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, I will go in first for you. I will take it. Bastard.
Not that I don't trust God, but you know.
Yeah.
What's not to trust?
Never trust God. Okay,
I'll remember
I've
that.
gone
Excellent.
into the room.
I will see you all on Sunday. Okay, so you climb through the hole. Again, it's about 1.5 feet off the ground. It's about 4 foot high, so you have no problems kind of climbing through. As you're climbing through this hole, you can see that it hasn't been cut, this hole. It's quite rough and rugged around the edges. There's quite a lot of bits of wood and splinters and things sticking out. So it's definitely not, as you'd think of, a man-made hole, but it's definitely a hole that's been created by something.
Oh dear.
At some point.
Thanks, Clagnuts.
Sorry.
I think I'm going to do another. Well, do you want me to do another perception check now that I'm in the room, just to see what else is in there?
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
Bugger. 8 plus 2, 10.
That's not bad. Okay, so as you're walking around the room, kind of checking everything out, you can see that this hole on the right-hand wall leads to another room. Looks quite dark in there. This hole also looks like it's been kind of clawed out or broken, or again, not a nice clean hole. The hole directly opposite you in the far wall, you can see that one is of a similar kind of creation. You can now see that there is something on the floor just in front of the hole.
Oh, it could be Barrel's toe.
Could be.
We
Barrel's
found
toe
your toe.
It's leading the way through the rooms.
Okay, can I examine that thing that's on the floor, please?
You can indeed. Go over and make a nature check for me.
Oh, a nature check. Oh, nature.
Oh, that means it's going to be an animal. It's something.
Well, I got a natural 1. I can roll again.
Hey!
I got a natural 1 again.
Nice!
You only did it once, though.
You only get to re-roll it once. There's no more re-rolls after that one.
Oh man!
So you kind of walk over and you see the stuff on the floor and you have no idea what it is. It could be anything. It could be.
So I called the Clagnuts to come and look at it.
Yeah.
With my matches.
It could be some charcoal. You don't know. It could be. You've never seen anything like it in your life. In fact, you're not even sure you can see it. You're kind of looking at the floor in the completely wrong place. Going, I can't see
someone
what it
took
is.
my glasses off.
Yeah.
Should we all go in?
Someone else come over and have a
Let's
look.
all go. I'd like to.
I've got +3. Yeah, I've got +3 as well. I'd like to look.
Yeah, let's all walk in.
Stare at it.
Gather round.
I've got a 15 +3. So
excellent. So as you walk in, you kind of walk over to Snout, who's stood in the corner of the room, staring blankly at the ceiling, and you lead him, you coax him back towards where this thing was that he couldn't see, and you can see that whatever it is, it's very dusty. It's obviously been there again a very, very long time. But as you kind of kick around in it, and another toe falls off Clagnuts at this point, and that rolls off into the corner. You can see what looks like some kind of bone. Some kind of it's a quite a large bone, so it's probably about 18 inches long, about 6 inches kind of in diameter. Quite a chunk of bone, but weirdly, it's hollow.
Oh, it's going to be a flute. Can we pick it up and play a Jethro Tull song on it?
You can certainly try.
On one leg.
Roll for Jethro Tull.
Roll for Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
8.
An 8. Your Tull is weak. I'm afraid you are no Jethro Tull. As you start blowing into this hollow bone thing, you just start coughing and hacking as kind of what's left of your lungs kind of produces a bit more kind of steam and dirt and dust and charcoal.
So what you're saying is it's not a musical instrument?
Not the way he's using it, no.
Does somebody else want to blow the horn?
Can I please suggest that somebody uses the other end after it's been in his mouth? just hygiene-wise.
Go on then, I'll have a go.
Natural ones, here we come.
Yeah. 11.
Hey,
Hey.
Okay. So yeah, you blow down this bone, and it just makes a hollow whistling noise. It would appear just to be a hollow bone. There's no other way of kind of using it for anything else. It's a hollow bone.
Okay.
Is there any teeth marks on it or anything like that?
Oh, Barrel is getting smarter with his toes. You can see the one end looks fairly clean. It's kind of at an angle, the one end, but it looks like it's the natural end of the bone, like it's not been broken or bitten. The other end, however, it does look splintered.
Right.
So maybe it's been used as a weapon at some point.
Or something's eaten it.
Yeah.
And sucked down all the marrow.
Or there could be vampires.
Yeah.
Which hole was that near, by the way?
That was near the far hole, so directly across from where you came in.
So do we not want to go down that?
I feel like we should chase the monster.
Let's.
Right?
Why not?
Should we chase this spooky monster?
Let's give it a go.
So we're throwing you through the hole first this time?
Yep. Spear
Or is it
first.
Plagnut's time to get thrown through a hole?
Well, I'm more into setting myself alight. That seems to be my specialty.
Maybe if it was a dark hole, maybe set him on fire and then throw him in.
And then throw me in, yeah.
Okay, let's look through the hole first then.
Yep.
Sensible.
Audio perception check.
Yep.
10 plus 3, 13.
Okay. As you look through the hole, you can see that this room again is reasonably well lit, but only about halfway along the room, and then the light in the ceiling stops quite suddenly. It's just a sudden stop of light. It does light up the front end of the room, which you can see there's something in there, but the far end of the room, even with your dark vision, you can't really see very clearly, but you can see enough to see there's definitely something at the far end of the room, on the floor and on the walls. Well,
is this something moving?
No, not that you can see. Again, it's very dark in there. You can't see it very clearly from this distance. It is about 40 feet away.
Does this something smell flammable?
To you, yes. To be fair to you, because of your nasal hairs, everything smells flammable.
Can we throw the bone at it?
Can if you wish.
Can we light the bone by putting a bit of rope in it and then throw it like a Molotov?
Nice.
Go for it.
That saves my other shoe.
Yeah. Who's good at throwing? Because I have got no decks.
Thor, time to step up, son.
Go on, Thor.
Yes, come on, Thor.
It went so well last time.
Yes.
Is it
Make up for last time.
Dex, isn't it? Dex.
Yeah, Dex first of all to kind of make your Molotov.
15 plus 1.
That's a good start. Okay, so yeah, you managed to bind a bit of rope around it, stuff some old wadded rope in there, and you light it. You have now got a flaming torch in your hand. What do you want to do? Barrel run.
I'm covering my toes.
I would.
I'm going to throw it at the far end.
Yeah.
Okay,
Light everything up.
so strength and Dex again.
So strength 19 plus 2, 21.
Oh.
Okay. And let's see how hard you throw this at a party member.
Dexterity. It is dexterity, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
13 plus 1, 14.
Okay, so you literally launch this thing through the hole, and it flies through the air like a spear, like a javelin, and you just see it disappear into the darkness, and then it stops at the far end. You can't still really make out very clearly what's happening, but you can see that it's now embedded in the wall at the far end of the room. And as you kind of watch it, try to kind of get your eyes to focus on what you're looking at, that whole far end of the room starts to light up as the flames spread and travel. And before you know it, the entire end of the room is now burning. However, you do notice that as much as it is burning, it's also going out quite quickly. So as it burns, whatever it is that's being burnt is definitely not staying lit for very long, and it's just burning away.
So paper.
Cobwebs.
Cobwebs or stuff like that, yeah.
Is there anything behind it then?
Not that you can see at the moment. As every time kind of the bits burn and drop off it, or you see things burn, your eyes kind of adjust quickly enough to the darkness that the light having exchanged.
If it's a giant cobwebs, then obviously there's going to be a giant spider, I reckon, because it is D&D. It's gotta be. Gotta look. Hold on. Let's zoom in on God's face. Poker face. Hold on. Are we going to go and give a giant spider some hassle?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we're all going to go in then.
We're all going to go in.
Okay. So as you work your way through the room, you can now see into the far end of the room the little bit of light that's now there from the javelin that's still burning, stuck in the wall. You can see there's another hole in the central wall. This is quite a large hole this time compared to the other ones. This one's about 15 to 20 feet in circumference, so quite a big hole.
Yeah.
All around it on the floor where the burning was happening, and then kind of closer towards you, you can see what look like a lot more of these hollow bones. However, these are much longer. These kind of taper from quite a round, large open end to a very thin, almost pointed end.
It's chitting.
Ready for that kind of language?
What about, guys, can we make a trap out of the pointy bones and rope like they do on adventure films? Does that make any sense? So we can entice the giant spider, which is, I reckon it's a giant spider. Look at that face.
What are we enticing it with?
Well, we're enticing it with snakes. And then when we run past, we can harpoon it with like a man trap or a spider trap, spiky, bony thing tied together with rope. While shouting out, "I have the power."
Yeah.
I've got no idea why, but that would confuse me. Can we do that? Are we allowed to do that?
You can do whatever you want. You can try anything. Entirely up to you.
Should we make like one of them things like that? Trap things?
Or is that like an alternative version of one of the things that go like that?
It could be, or it could go.
No. You go like that.
So it's one of those, but that way up. Right. Okay.
Yes.
It makes much more sense now.
Yeah, you're lucky there.
Did I steal some of the bones and make my spear like a 5-pointed spear?
Longer.
Yeah.
You can certainly try. You do notice that these bones, these whole bones, are about 9 feet long.
Ooh.
So a super long spear.
Well, it's about 3 times the length of your existing spear.
Oh, we're having one of them then.
All right. So we've now got super spears.
Should we all grab one?
Whatever's killed this thing is going to be huge.
Yeah. Can we make a ladder out of those? If they're long pointy things, can I make a ladder and climb up the way we just came and try to the other hole?
You could certainly try.
Is there enough
good?
Because these things always end so well. So yeah.
Climbing up a bone ladder seems sensible.
Yeah.
Do I need to? I've lost my camera.
Oh, he's gone.
Well,
He's gone.
He's run away.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
The spider's at him.
Damn, he's run away.
Surprise, spider attack.
So what do you reckon then, guys? Are we going to try and make a ladder?
To go up the light at the other end?
Or are we going to try and make a spider trap?
You notice that if you wanted to make a ladder, you can kind of looking at it, there probably isn't enough to make a ladder long enough due to the width of these things. So you'd have a very wide ladder, if not a very tall ladder.
Okay. So should we do a perceptions check just to look through the big hole at least to see what's beyond it?
Yeah. Well, what about you do a perception check? Take your head through.
I will do just for you, flag nuts. I will do a perception check and look through the big hole.
He's a spider. He has returned and defended himself from the spider.
I have a 12 plus 2.
Excellent. You look through this hole. I said this hole is considerably bigger than any of the holes you've been looking at.
Yes.
It is. Beyond that, you can see there's quite a large room, probably twice the width of the room you're currently stood in or any of the rooms you've been in, but about the same length, about the same height, but about twice as wide. On the left-hand side, on the left wall, you can see there's a very large, most of that wall is missing. So it's quite a large open void. In this room, you can also see that there is something quite large in the far right-hand corner, but you can't see what it is from where you are. But it looks like something is much bigger than you are. It's probably about 6 feet high and about 12 feet long.
Yeah, loads of legs, furry.
Not that you can see. Not that you can see.
To be honest, everything is bigger than we are.
This is true. Yeah. This is also very true.
That's true.
So, are we going to go into this other room and see if we can have a look at Clagnut Spider?
Oh yeah, I was just wondering if we could sneak up to it just to get a better.
You can certainly try.
Oh, that sounds good.
Certainly try.
What does Clagnuts need for sneaking?
More toes.
That's true.
More toes, less smell.
Take his other shoe off. Sneak. Give me a dexterity roll for that one if anyone wants to try and go into stealth and sneak up to it.
No, you can try it. I can try it. I'll try it.
Try it, Thor.
Come on, Thor.
13 plus 1. So 14.
Okay. Yeah, you climb through the hole and you quite deftly kind of start across the room. You're looking at as you're approaching this thing in the corner. It looks like a giant bird skull. What it looks like initially.
Initially.
It's going to be a spider.
You're still about 30 feet away from it, so it's just on the limits of your dark vision.
Oh. What about?
Go a bit closer.
Should we get one of the bones, tie a bit of rope on it, set fire to it, and then throw it at it?
Again.
Yeah. No, because we don't lose the spear then. We just use one of the bones as a harpoon thingy.
Can I just check, Zokid, did you bother getting your spear back out of Barrel's foot earlier?
It's still in there, right? Has he just been hobbling along with a spear?
He's just been walking around using it like a crutch, but it's still stuck.
I wondered what cuts this in the face.
Yeah.
I'll pull my spear out of Barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
You now have your spear back. Congratulations.
I think that's an idea. What do you reckon?
To throw the spear at the skull thing.
Yeah, but tie rope on it, set fire to the rope, and then wang it at the thing in the corner. Let's just hope it's not a princess or a damsel.
Can Thor not do another perception check now that he's closer?
We haven't done. Yeah, let's do.
You will need to get. You need to get about 10 feet closer, so you're within your kind of dark vision range, so you can really see quite clearly.
Go a bit closer, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go a bit closer.
Nothing bad can happen here.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 plus 3.
Excellent. That's okay. Okay, as you start creeping again towards what looks like this bird skull, you can see just about that it's kind of moving. It's rocking a little bit.
Like it's breathing.
It's hard to tell because it's just on the edge of your vision. You can see it's definitely moving, but it's not like moving around. It's just ever so gently moving.
Okay.
I think you stab it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Throw your thing at it.
You got two swords.
You've got twin swords. Throw one of your swords at it.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Can I weapons at it, and that'll be fine.
I don't know.
Can I just charge at it screaming?
You can if you wish.
Well,
go for it. Why not?
Let's see how many toes you lose.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to do anything?
Hold on then, Zoid Kid. If you're going to run at it, what about I'm going to take my other shoe off, set fire of my other shoe, throw it at the spider, and then Zoid Kid is then going to attack at the same time.
I like it.
I am
do
the.
Do you want to use my shoes as your shoes are falling apart?
If you got one, I could borrow.
I'm sure I've got a shoe. Okay,
I'm going to borrow Zoid Kid's shoe, put some rope on it, set fire to it, throw it at the spider, and then and shout out by the power of Grayskull, and then Zoid Kid is going to attack it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Zoid Kid takes his shoe off and hands it to you. you're initially quite jealous because the shoe's quite nice.
It's an unburnt shoe.
It's a shoe.
You look on and wonder at Zoikid's beautifully manicured foot as well. And go, not only does he have 5 toes, they're all pretty good toes too. They don't look mangled or buniony. The choice of bright pink nail polish is questionable, but that's his lifestyle choice, so it's fine. You have his shoe. You get your tinderbox out. Wang it. There you go.
Wang it. Yeah.
Wang it.
Yeah.
Next up, you'll be yeeting a shoe. Make a do a constitution check for me, Clagnus.
Constitution check. Right, this is okay. That is a 13 plus 1.
Okay, give me a second.
14.
Oh. So you kind of go, right, everyone, watch out, cover your eyes, this is going to be amazing. And you kind of go, you pull back to throw it, and as you swing forwards, you kind of quite badly but quickly and deftly try and get the shoe on your foot so that nobody notices that you haven't thrown it, you've in fact stolen his shoe because it's a nice shoe. Anyone want to take a perception check, see if you noticed anything?
Yep, I want to check my shoe. 11 plus 3.
Yeah,
14.
you're all kind of just stood there with your arms crossed staring at Clagnuts, who's trying to give you the most innocent look in his life. Going, what do you mean? No, I threw it. Did you not see it arc through the air in a beautiful Frosby Flop-esque arc? And you're just looking at him with this one beautiful shoe on, just shaking your heads. Zokid, would you like to charge the skull?
Before you do that, can I?
Oh, God,
before you did, can I just poke it, just see if it actually responds?
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
You want to get a lot closer.
Yeah, why not?
You want to walk right up to it.
How about
actually, no,
how about before Thor pokes it or whatever? I'm going to try with Zoikid's other shoe.
Oh, really?
You can see where I'm going here.
By the end of this adventure, Clagnus is going to be very well dressed, whilst the rest of you are going to be dirty, naked, stinky.
I feel like you're going to have to fight me for that shoe.
Yeah, I might have to. Yeah, I don't think I'll get away with that two times in a row, wouldn't I? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'll leave that.
Zokid, if you can make a perception check for me.
Yep. 5 plus 3.
Excellent. And now if you can make a dexterity check for me.
20.
Ooh.
Here we go again. Okay.
That's
So,
good.
I feel like I need to tilt my camera to...
yes, 20. I'm surprised not everyone's rolling natural 20s all evening. It's amazing. Oh, look, another one. God knows. So yeah, Zokid lets out this almighty bellow, he lowers his spear, and he charges headlong towards this thing in the corner. He travels about 10 feet before you see him kind of stumble, and he kind of tumbles forwards over the top of the skull, literally clearing it by a good 2 or 3 feet over the top of it. You do now notice that there is quite a large shaft of wood, about yay long, through his bare foot.
Sorry about that.
During his charge, but he has landed quite safely. He looks a bit startled and dazed, and he's kind of almost admiring his new wooden shoe. Happy that it hasn't damaged his nails in any way. But as he does, you do notice that this skull moves quite violently all of a sudden. It does start to kind of hop and rock around quite violently.
I feel like we need to set the skull on fire. I reckon something's inside it.
But can you do a perception check first? Because you're right next to it now, and you can then tell us what it is.
Can I do that?
You can, by all means.
2 plus 3, so a 5.
Maybe not.
I'm afraid he's
Maybe not. He's blind.
excited about his new clog.
Yeah.
Look at any. That's all he wants to look at is
Clogs
his
are
wonderful
fashion.
new clog. So sadly, he's been clogged.
Can I try to get a bit closer and do a perception?
You by all means, go for it.
Yeah, okay. Perception is +3. 20 plus 3.
Natural 20. So, no problem at all. You walk straight up to this this skull, and you notice all of a sudden it stops. And then it rocks quite violently again and stops. And just as you're about to kind of reach out with your sword to try and flip it over, you're kind of pointing it towards the eye sockets, like I'll use that for leverage. All of a sudden, there's an almighty banging that fills the room, a proper kind of noise. The entire room vibrates, it shakes, you're all kind of thrown off your feet, except for Zokid, who's already sat on his arse staring at his wonderful new shoe. And then it stops suddenly.
I think we got to flip it over. Let's give it some.
Yeah.
You're there for. Do a flip.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Let's flip it.
I think just before you do that, I'm going to stand next to Barrel and eye up his shoes.
I've lost one of them. I was wearing flip-flops, and of course, losing the toe, it fell off.
Oh, that's true. I'll look at the other
one. So as you all kind of turn your attention towards this skull, you notice it's about 8 feet from where you last saw it. It's moved towards this huge hole in the wall where the wall has essentially collapsed and disappeared. Ooh. And it's now upside down, so it's on the top. And it's just gently rocking, like it's just settling.
Something fell out of it.
Okay.
Can we do a perception check around the area around it, just to see if there's anything?
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have another look round.
Yeah, I got a 4 plus 3.
It's a very enticing skull that you really are paying attention to.
Yeah.
I'll have a go. Hang on. 15 plus 3.
There we go. Okay, yeah, you notice now that around the room, kind of in the dust and the dirt and in the cobwebs up in the corner, are 3 or 4, maybe a few more of these large bones that you've been seeing, these large hollow bones. However, these ones seem to be completely intact, complete with what looks like feathering running up the sides of them.
So we're in a KFC.
Yeah, can we do like a nature check or something?
You may indeed.
Oh, good one.
A good call. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What's it? 10 plus 3, 13.
Okay. You don't really know much about this kind of thing. It's not really your wheelhouse to know about nature and things like that. Working for Trevor, the unlikely, you don't get out very much. Occasionally, he might send you to the well in the courtyard to go and fetch water. But other than that, your experiences have never stretched beyond the grounds of his keep. However, you have seen those giant flying, scary, squawky things in the air that every now and again do take away one of your homunculoid friends, that they'll go out to do something and they're just taken away and never to be seen again. And these weird creatures in the sky do tend to be covered in these kind of spiky things with this stuff up the sides of it.
Like a dragon.
In no way at all, but yes.
A weird chicken.
A weird chicken. An angry chicken.
Weird angry chickens.
So is that a live chicken there? Sort of thing? If it's got
it's certainly a large...
Is it alive?
Well, no, these feathers are pretty much all over the place. They do seem to be what you've been finding in the other rooms, but have been stripped, shall we say, or burnt off. And potentially, the head of the skull that you have found looks a lot like the shape of the head of these creatures you do see flying around the keep, covered in feathers.
And you say they're up in the cobwebs?
Hmm?
You say they're up in the cobwebs at the moment?
There's some up in the cobwebs. In this room, there's not a huge amount in this room, but you kind of get the feeling from where the last room, where things were burning quite rapidly, there were probably a lot more of these things in that room that were destroyed by the fire. In here, there are a few up in the cobwebs. There are a few of them just on the ground covered in dust. You can see through that large hole in the wall that there looks like there's a few more of them in the next room as well.
Was it like a dinosaur?
Possibly, as you have no concept of what a dinosaur is. Let's go with yes. Yes, it's exactly like a dinosaur.
Big flying lizard.
Yes.
Should we go? Should we go over to the big hole?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. It's probably
let's
Rod
have
Hole.
a look in the big hole.
Do I need to take my peg leg out now? There's found a bit of wood in my foot, or can I just hobble with it?
It's up to you. You don't feel pain, so who cares?
I'll keep it in. Why not? That'll be useful.
Yeah, extra weapon.
Exactly.
A quick question, God. these feathers, are they just dotted around, or are they in like a nest shape?
No, they definitely look discarded, like they just dotted around. Maybe at some point were attached to a creature of some kind, but over the period of time that since this creature was alive, have just been discarded and scattered.
Molted feathers.
Potentially, or removed from something.
Do they look valuable? Can we steal some and sell them?
I like it.
You will find with the fact that they're about 12 to 15 feet long, you're going to struggle to move very far with them. But by all means, why not take a feather?
We could
drag
make
it along everywhere.
We could make rafts out of it. Yeah, we could make a raft if it floods.
We could strap them all to Zokin so that when we next throw him through a door, he actually flies.
He flies.
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
Or it just looks like a shuttlecock.
That sounds cool.
That's a great one.
Oh, please make me into a shuttlecock. Can you make me into a shuttlecock? Set me ablaze and then throw me into this dark abyss.
Awesome.
I'm loving this
through
game.
the pink wall that's missing.
Yeah.
Let's throw a burning cock through a hole. Okay, so as you climb this hole, you don't need to climb through. This hole is literally floor to ceiling high, and half the wall is missing. This is quite a large cavernous kind of gap in the wall. There's more hole than there is wall. As you go into the next room, you can see now there are bones, actual bones this time, quite a lot of them and large ones. There's one of them is actually leaning against the wall on the far side that looks kind of like some kind of fan or a wing, maybe.
Well, let's do a perception check.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, not much, just a 7.
A 7. You walk over and you look at it and go, okay, this looks like a wing or a fan of some kind of makings. It looks natural, so it doesn't look like it's been tied together. You kind of look at it and go, well, there's no ropes involved in this. So it looks like maybe it grew like this, somehow weird configuration of wing style that not having much clue about these things, you've not really seen a wing other than as a silhouette in the sky.
A quick question: is that wing attached to anything?
Apparently not. It's just leaning up against the wall currently.
What colour are the feathers? What does it look like?
They're kind of like a dappled grey.
Okay.
So there could be a hole the other side. Could be hiding stuff.
Yeah. Let's move it. Let's move it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you move the wing-esque thing over to one side, and there is indeed a hole on the other side of it. This hole looks quite small, though. It's big enough for you to crawl through, but it's only about 3 feet high, 3 feet wide, kind of thing, and it's about a foot off the ground again. So it's quite a small hole compared to the others.
Is it long, or is it like a little?
It doesn't look like it. It's about probably the same as all the other holes you've climbed through. So it's probably about 2 feet thick.
So it's Zoid kid size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's dark.
It's about the right size to throw a cock into.
Yeah.
Let's get those feathers.
Yep. I'll go head first into that then, I guess.
Okay. Are you just going to climb in head first, or do you want to get thrown in, or?
Should he throw you in with your spike?
Yeah. Spike first, thrown in.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Here first and chuck him.
Okay, so somebody wants to take a strength check.
Oh.
Yeah, I will.
Go on then.
I will, because I've got a +3. Hang on. 14 +3.
Okay, and make a dexterity check again. Let's see what your aim's like before you ram him head first. Like a
right into the wall.
10 +1.
Okay, can you roll it for me a second time, please?
Oh.
Ooh.
That's not sounding good.
Yeah.
11 +1.
Didn't make a lot of difference then. Okay, so you kind of grab him by the nape of the neck, and you grab him by the breeches, and you basically swing him, and part of him goes through the hole, at least. So it wasn't a complete disaster. So a quick look. Have one of those. Zokid, you take 3 points of damage as you kind of bounce off the wall. You do manage to get through the hole in sections. But yeah, you do disappear through the hole. You're now in a very dark room.
Oh dear.
Okay. And my spear doesn't impale anything or anything like that?
No.
Can I take that bit of wood out of my foot and set it on fire like a torch?
Awesome idea.
You can indeed. If you can make a dexterity roll for me.
Yep. 12. Just 12.
That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, you use your tinderbox. You get this piece of wood burning. It's not burning particularly well because it's just a piece of wood at the end of the day, but it does give off enough light that you can see about 10 feet around you that you are in. You can't see, with the exception of the wall that you've just come through, you can't see any of the walls. You can't see the ceiling. It is pretty much jet black in this room.
Cool. Do I need to do a perception check? I suppose.
You don't need to. You can choose.
I will. 5 plus 3.
Maybe you didn't want to do a perception check. Yeah. You can see that staring at this piece of burning wood and then blinking really quickly, you can see bits of burning wood all over the place in front of you. That's quite amazing.
Lovely.
Someone want to come and join me in this?
I think we're all piling.
Yeah, we're all going through.
Okay.
Yeah. On the way, I'm going to grab the fan and use it as a hat because I burnt my old one off when I exploded.
Okay. Make a strength check for me.
2.
That's excellent.
That's a no then.
So you kind of.
So he collapses under his hat.
He drags this fan into the hole, this wing, this fan, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, you kind of see him pulling and pulling, and he's got his feet up on the side of the wall. And eventually it gives, and the whole thing comes through, completely shredded. He's got like a piece of bone now in his hand with nothing attached to it. Yeah, bit of a disaster. The wing is now wrecked on the other side of the hole in pieces, completely destroyed. But Clagnus has got a bone, so yay for Clagnus.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay.
So shall we try another perception check?
Yeah.
Go on, someone.
I'll try. Yeah. 15 plus 2.
Okay. You're finding it quite hard to see what's in the room because every time your eyes adjust to a little bit of the light, Zokid's in front of you with his burning stick, kind of trying to write his name in the flames, which is pretty impossible as he can't spell his own name, let alone write. So he's literally just trying not to hit people with his burning stick as he's running around the place. You do notice, though, right up in the far end of the room, quite some distance from you, there's something every now and again glints.
Like an eye from a spider.
Or a sword.
Like the hammer that we were supposed to be finding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what we were looking for.
Shoes, wasn't it? We were looking for shoes.
Shoes and a big grabby hammer.
An orthodontist. Orthopedic.
Can we sneak forward, all of us as a group?
Yeah. If you all want to make a dexterity check.
Yeah.
14.
16, 17.
13 plus 1, 14.
Okay. You're kind of. You go what?
An 8.
An 8. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're all.
You slipped over.
You're all there going right. We'll all sneak forward. So you're all sneaking ever so quietly. Especially Barrel, who's making sure everyone knows that he's sneaking. We're going sneak, while stamping his feet quite loudly.
With his missing toe.
Yes, with his missing toe. You can hear there's something rattling in his other shoes. There may be more toes about to go missing. It sounds like something rattling dice. As you walk your way across the room, you can see whatever this thing is every time that Zoikid waves his stick around, is glinting. That's what the light is. It's catching on whatever this shiny object is off in the distance.
Who wants to go and run and grab it then? Oh yeah, sneak.
Well, do we just want to get closer first so we can have a proper look at it?
Yeah.
Let's keep.
Okay, so we said Clagnuts forwards to have a proper look at it.
Yeah.
With instructions not to burn anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
So instantly, Clagnus steps forward and it explodes into flames. Okay, so do you want to sneak or are you just going to walk up to it?
I'm going to just walk up to it.
Okay. So Clagnus walks off into the darkness. You can still just about make out his form that he's off out there. Clagnets, as you approach, make a perception check.
10 plus. What's perception? 13.
13. Okay, so as you get closer, you can see that whatever this is, you're not really sure quite what it is, but it looks huge. It's massive. This thing's probably 30 feet high and 30 feet wide and shiny. Very shiny.
It's gold.
It's not a hammer.
It's not a hammer. I'm gonna walk over and prod it.
Okay. What would you like to prod it with?
My
shoe.
Yeah, my new shoe.
Run over and kick it.
Yeah, I'll kick it with my new shoe.
Okay, make a constitution check for me.
13 plus constitution. 14.
14. You walk over and you give this thing an almighty kick, and you notice this thing's really hard, like really properly hard. You do notice that the end of your shoe's kind of squashed down flat now, but you're not too worried because now it makes quite a fun rattling noise when you kind of swing and shake your foot around, which is quite entertaining. You can see this thing looks like it's potentially made of either glass or something similar. It's huge, it's spherical, it's a huge sphere, and you think there's something in the middle of it, but you can't really make out what it is.
Throw your hammer at it, smash it.
Break it.
Yeah. Break it. Yeah, I've got a great axe. I'm going to whack it with my
time.
axe.
Every time, every group.
Wait, before you do that, should I do a investigation because I've got high intelligence?
Really? Really?
Is that useful?
Why not? Why not? Indeed, investigate away.
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You walk over and you walk around it and you kind of put your hands on it and you kind of step back and dry your teeth a little bit. It looks like you're trying to give a quote for a builder. You're going to go, try to size it up. You've no idea what it is, but it looks good. You can see that this thing is made of quite a dense glass, like it's solid glass. But you can see there's something definitely in the middle of it, something colourful, quite shiny and bright inside the centre.
I think let's whack it with great stuff. Shall we?
Can I step really far back so when it shatters?
Yeah, we'll stand back and you can hit it with your axe.
I'm going to hit it with my axe.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll stand back. Yeah,
they can stand back.
We'll stand back 3 rooms away.
Yeah. There isn't a smell of any sort of flammable liquid before I hit anything. Just check it.
It does sound like there might be some kindling in one of your shoes now.
Yes. Okay. All right. What have I got to roll?
You're attacking, so a strength check.
Strength check.
Let's see how hard you can hit this thing.
16.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, so you see Clagnus spits on his hands.
Oh, my modifier. I've got a +3 because it's a great axe.
Okay, so it's a 19. Right, he spits on his hands. He rubs them together. He kind of does his sleeves up, rolls his trousers up to his knees, which then come off in his hands. His knees, not his trousers. And he gets his axe and he gives an almighty throw at it, like swing at this giant glass thing, and as it hits, it kind of skits off to one side, and you do notice that a little bit of the sheen just where he's caught it has come off. So it's not chipped it as such. It certainly hasn't cracked it, but it has just kind of taken a little bit off the top of it, just scratched it almost. You do also notice now though that this thing kind of rolled ever so slightly and then settled back to where it was.
Is the room floor flat?
It would appear to be, yes.
Is there something behind it? Or
yes.
I think we roll it.
Let's roll it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we? Yeah.
I'll do a strength.
If somebody wants to do a strength, if somebody wants to help them.
Yeah, can we all help?
Yep, we can all help.
Plus 2.
2 plus 2.
God. 15 plus 3.
Big old 20.
Oh, look at him
Good
go.
man.
13.
Barrel for the win. Okay, so you're all kind of who rolled a 2 then? Who said 2? That same 2.
Thor put his foot underneath it.
He did, unfortunately. Let me just find my right dice. There we go. Not that one, that one. So, okay, so yeah, you're all kind of pushing against it. You do notice that Thor, for some reason, is on the other side of this giant sphere pushing. But he is giving it his all. He's probably grunting and groaning. You do hear a bit of a kind of a happen as well, which you think is the score straining a little too hard.
However, sorry.
Yeah. However, you do manage to get this thing moving. You hear Thor let out a little yelp from the other side of this thing as he jumps out of the way holding his foot and takes 2 points of damage as it rolls over, crushing his foot quite horribly underneath it. But fortunately, feeling no pain, doesn't really care that much. He is now kind of part of the wrecked foot gang, as you've decided to become. Snout, you are the only person now completely with all toes. Everyone get him quick.
I still have my shoes, though.
Do you still have your shoes?
I still have my shoes.
Do you want that one shoe that's
No,
they're
not going anywhere near you, Flagdog.
Okay.
Okay, so this giant glass sphere just starts rolling away towards the end of the room. And it seems to be picking up speed as it's going until eventually it hits the wall at the far end with an almighty bang. But that's it just stops. However, behind it, where it was, apparently I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to point out, not me that's doing it, this lot. So yeah, you notice now there's a hole in the wall about a foot wide.
Ah.
Ooh.
About 3 feet off the ground. So it's about head height to all of you.
About head height. Yeah.
Did you say there was something inside the sphere as well?
Yeah.
It certainly looked, when you were checking, it certainly looked like there was something quite bright inside it.
I got a 1
Is it still inside it?
Who knows?
Yeah, is it still...
Can we have a look?
Yes, hang on.
Yeah, I did so.
Oh, God. 5. Someone else do it.
I imagine it's probably still in there, Snout. You assume it's probably still in there.
I rolled a 3, so I wouldn't go with mine.
You and Snout are kind of now in deep conversation going, I reckon it's still in there, you know. Yeah, I do too. If only there was a way for us to know.
I got an 11 on perception.
11 on perception. From where you are, again, you can't really see inside it from where you are, but you assume that because it's not broken, nothing has happened to it, that you assume it's still inside it, whatever it was.
Okay, can we have a look inside the hole?
You can indeed. If everyone can roll an initiative roll for me.
Oh dear.
What's that?
So this is your D20 plus your initiative.
Okay.
That's my initiative.
15.
15?
Yeah.
18.
11.
Okay.
I can't find initiative on the...
next 11? To armor class, in the middle.
It is...
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
between armor class and movement.
7 plus 2.
11 plus 2.
13. Okay, if you can all make a note of that number for me. Just somewhere on your sheet, somewhere out the way.
Yep. Oh dear.
Yeah.
See, it's lovely and thematic playing with this downlight, but I can't actually see what I'm rolling. God is blind. Okay, so as you approach the hole, all of a sudden out of this thing, little black furry legs stop popping out all around it.
Exactly.
It's a bloody spider.
Well, you'd think that, but there seems to be more and more of them. Definitely more than 8. Probably more than 16. And before you know it, that entire wall is starting to move as these quite large spiders, about a foot long each, start pouring out of this hole all over the walls. They're running onto the floor. They've definitely seen you guys. They're definitely very interested. So, who rolled the highest between you?
I had a 17.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay, Clagnets, what would you like to do?
I'm going to set fire to spiders.
Oh no!
Excellent, burning spider fight.
Yay!
Okay, so I take it you're going to throw your tinderbox at them at this point.
I am. I'm going to light my tinderbox and throw it at them.
Just make a dexterity throw for me. Let's see if you can hit anything.
Oh, hold on. Missed the table then.
Good start.
That doesn't move well.
13.
13. Okay. You throw your tinderbox at them, and it hits the first one, which instantly ignites, and then kind of rolls off and disappears into the crowd behind you. You see 2 or 3 of them kind of part ways and kind of swarm around it. 1 or 2 of them kind of just on the edge of them get caught by the flames. That first spider, though, is really angry. It saw where that tinderbox came from, and is now heading towards you.
Can I point its snort and say it was him?
You can, by all means. The spider, having no concept of the human language, completely ignores you.
Pointing.
Yes. Who rolled the next highest?
I think that was me, 15.
15. Okay, so the spiders go next because I rolled a 16 for my initiative.
Oh dear.
So I'll roll once for each of you. So your armor values were
12.
12.
You're all 12?
Yeah,
Okay,
all 12.
so I'm going to adjust my light so I can actually see what I'm rolling. Ooh. That is. Oh dear. Ooh. Okay, so for my first roll, Clagnuts,
Yes.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
This burning spider really doesn't like you. He really doesn't like you. Let's roll for some damage from a spider. Now, normally they have a D4 damage. However, because this one's on fire, I'm going to make it a D6.
Oh, okay.
Because it rolled a natural 20, that automatically doubles the amount of damage it does.
Ooh.
Fortunately, I only rolled a 2. So you take 4 points of damage as this spider leaps onto you. Burning, biting, really not happy. Thor, I also rolled a 17 for you. So you get a spider moves up to you. The other 3 are kind of still quite valiantly kind of fighting them away and backing off. They're not stupid. Thor, on the other hand, not so much. Okay.
Well, he has got damage.
See what I rolled? I can't even find the dice. There we are. I rolled a 1. So Thor, you take 1 point of damage.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Barrel, I believe you were next.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll a D20 to try and hit them. So D20 plus your strength or dex, depending on what weapon you're using.
I got an 8.
Okay, so yeah, it's a wild swing. Is that including your modifier?
It is indeed, yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so a wild swing. You do manage to kind of fend one off, but that's all that happens. Who was next?
I was 13.
Yes, you next then, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
18 plus...
18. Yeah, that's a hit regardless.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
roll for your damage.
That's the D6, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. 2.
2. Okay, yeah. One of the spiders comes towards you, it rears up, you take a good swing, and you take out 2 of its legs.
Cool.
Okay. Thor's Oaken, whichever one of you wants to go next.
I think I'm next. I was 11.
Okay.
So just normal attack on it.
Yep.
I got 13, and then no modifiers.
No, so okay, and roll damage.
1.
1. Yeah, you slice away, and another one of the spiders' leg has now been distended from its body. And Thor.
Yeah. So
time to save the day.
Is it D20? I've got two short swords though.
Yeah. So roll your D20 twice.
Okay.
So 2 attacks.
So 17 plus the 1.
Yep.
So 18.
The other one?
And the other one is 7 plus the 1's 8.
Okay.
18 and 8.
One you use as a parrying motion, the other one you basically attack with. So roll for your damage on the 1.
Damage. Damage is 1d6, is it?
Yeah. So 1d6.
1d6. 6.
6. Excellent. Yeah. You literally just slice this spider clean in half. You distract it with the one sword that's gleaming, and the other one just straight down the middle. Splice spider.
Awesome.
Okay. Back to the top. Clagnuts, you are currently wrestling with a burning spider.
Oh, kinky. I'm going to get my big axe out and give it a whack.
Okay, so you're going to try and hit this spider that's on you with your great axe. Excellent, go for it. Okay, so a D20 plus your strength.
A D20. So I've got 11 plus strength plus 3, 14.
14. Okay. Roll for dexterity for me.
Oh, that's not good. 7.
7. Okay. Roll damage.
Oh dear. Well, I'm going to damage a lot of spiders. This is awesome. 7.
7. Yeah. So you cleave the spider clean in half. If you can roll again for me.
I'm going to lose something, aren't I? An 8.
An 8. Yeah. So this spider completely bifurcated beautifully in wonderful strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really showed it. Who's boss on that one? Your new center parting is quite impressive as well, as you take 4 points of damage from your great axe.
This is going well.
Okay. Wow, that's a first.
We said we'd get you a first.
It's not the first time anyone's damaged themselves in combat, but it's the first time anyone's hit themselves in the head with a great axe. Okay, let's see how the spiders do. Oh dear. Clagnus, these spiders are really fond of you.
Oh dear. Oh.
Okay, so Clagnus first. So yeah, again, the spiders now have the scent of blood in the air, their own and yours. As they set about you, you take 4 more points of damage as these spiders start kind of essentially just tidal waving on top of you.
Right.
Snort, you also get spidered.
Oh dear.
You only take 1 point of damage though. That spider that you kind of injured is just kind of it's come at you and done a full Three Stooges thing where it's kind of distracted you and just got you right in the eyes. Zokid, you also take a point of damage from the spiders that are attacking you. Thor and Barrel, they've looked at you guys and gone, we don't want any part of this. Now, guys, let's just talk about it. Karen, leave it, it ain't worth it. Dragging each other away. So next up was Barrel, I believe.
Yep.
Go on, Barrel. Give it them.
Yeah, 17.
Yep, so that's a hit. Roll for damage.
Well done.
7.
7. Another one is cleaved in 2.
10. Yeah.
One's really cleaved in 2.
Yeah.
In fact, you kind of went back and kind of did a chopping motion and divided it up nicely into some kind of sushi-esque display. You have a second action now, so if you wish to attack again, you can do, or you can move away, or you can go over and help Clagnus be killed.
Yeah, I'll get over to our Clagnuts and try and help them out a bit.
Okay, so you move across to Clagnuts. So next turn, Clagnus, you'll be rolling with help from Barrel. Fun for all the family. Snout, you're up next, I believe.
Yep. 6.
6. A mighty 6.
A mighty 6.
Yeah, that'll be a swing and a miss. You do have a second attack if you want it.
Yes, I'll take a second attack. 16.
See, that's more like it. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage. That's that one. 4.
Excellent. Yeah, you've hit another one of these spiders. It kind of skitters across to the corner of the room. It's quite badly injured, but it's still kind of hanging in there. It's quite annoyed now.
How many of these spiders are there?
Yeah.
At the moment, probably close to 30.
It's going to be a long night.
Yeah. Quick question.
Okay,
with that 4,
yes.
was I meant to put my attack bonus on top of that 4?
Yes. Yes, you do.
In that case, it was a 7.
Excellent. Then that spider not only does it run to the corner and looks quite miffed, it then kind of falls in 2.
Even better.
And 2 new spiders crawl out.
Oh, bugger.
No, they don't really. That's not really. They're not Hydra spiders. It's for Hydras. Okay, Zokid.
Yep. 13.
Excellent. That's a hit.
Cool. And then a 3.
Okay, so just 3. Is that including your damage bonus?
I got no bonus because it's all dex,
Excellent.
so it's my worst.
Yeah. So again, a couple more legs are off. You got a second attack if you want it.
Yeah. 19.
Okay, that's a definite hit.
Yep. And 3 again.
Excellent. Yeah, you finish this spider off. You kind of walk over with your spear and you just drive it into the ground. This spider is no more. Even if the spear hadn't have killed it, the toxic blood from Barrel's foot probably would have finished it off anyway. Thor, you're next.
Okay. 16 plus 1, 17.
Okay, that's a hit.
Yep. And then damage is 1.
Yay!
Slow but sure. Yeah, another spider runs towards you, just kick it in the shin, but it's got acorns. That really sucks.
Okay.
Okay, second.
And I got the other sword, yeah.
Yep, so you still got that one.
So 11 plus 1, 12.
That's a hit.
And damage is 6.
6, nice. You get this one in a half Nelson, you drag it to the ground, and you just choke it out. And that spider is no more.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, you now are looking up going, this room is filling quite significantly with spiders. There seems to be more spiders you could possibly handle now, and they start forcing you back out through the entrance that you came in from.
I agree.
Right. What would you like to do?
Run away.
Yes, let's run away.
Can we
run away?
Can we block it
Do
off?
we roll
with
that ball back to block the hole again?
The ball's now at the far end of the room, so you'd have to fight your way through the spiders to be able to get to it. There is waves upon waves of spiders coming towards you now.
Right. Run away!
Okay.
Yeah, let's get out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you go back out through the hole you came in through. One at a time, you kind of fight each other to get through as quickly as you can. If somebody can roll a d20 for me, whoever wants to.
18 plus 3.
18. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Okay, as you're trying to get out of this room, you're going through one at a time. There's quite a small hole, so you can only travel through it one at a time. Clagnut's bring up the rear, as he always does, the brave soul. Spiders are now swarming on him. The last you see of Clagnut as the last of you climbs through this hole, is he slowly just kind of disappears under a wave of spiders and is no more.
Well, that is. Am I still alive or not?
Sadly, it would appear you have died.
With my shoe as well.
With his shoe. Or
we get our shoes back.
Yeah.
This is where Clagnut now throws a fit and goes, I ain't doing this show no more, and just signs us all out.
Oh, what I was going to say.
Well, I'm going home then.
What I was going to say, as everybody ran off out the room, I fell on the floor and pretended to be dead. So I'm still in that room, but still alive, but pretending to be dead.
Okay.
Underneath a pile of spiders.
Yeah.
Which are biting him and dismembering him. But he's only pretending to be dead, right?
Only pretending.
Excellent.
Very good effort, yeah.
Those internal organs are playing dead like nobody's business.
Exactly.
The way your heart is playing possum is amazing. It's
cool.
It's rather limits of kind of professionalism. Okay, so the rest of you are now outside the top. You can see that these spiders are now getting towards the hole. They're coming out after you.
Is there anything to block it off with?
There was a wing leaning up against the wall originally, but somebody stripped that of all of its kind of parts.
Sorry. You could always blow them up with the. Oh no, you can't, because I've used that as well. I'm like, sorry.
Can I bury myself in one of those skulls and just close myself in and let everyone else deal with it?
You can certainly attempt to if you wish.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Roll a
Hide in the
d20
skull.
for me.
Where's the big skull?
A 1.
A 1. You get to re-roll that. You're lucky.
Yeah.
You can re-roll ones.
A 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
one extreme to the other.
Natural 20.
One extreme to
natural
the
20.
other with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, you showing us that just means you've probably got a stash of 20s on the table. Whenever I need them. You see COVID run over, and he grabs the skull, and he kind of kicks the bottom of it in and climbs inside it, and just kind of turns turtle and rolls over with his skull on top of him. As more and more of these spiders start pouring into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
I'm happy with this.
Can I come back from the dead and demonically possess somebody?
Is that a trait you have?
Let me consult my notes.
Here in crayon, it says yes.
I'm positive I did. I thought I had that one.
Okay, what do the other three want to do?
Are we going to run away some more and just leave him behind?
Yeah. Okay.
Just to retreat.
You pile through that huge hole that was in the wall. You're into the next room. You do see the skull kind of, again, get swallowed up by these spiders, but you do then see the skull kind of pop back up, almost like it's floating. And then you see kind of the skull float towards that tiny hole in the wall. And then you see it kind of butting against this hole, and each time it gets slightly more violent until eventually it's completely crushed and is dragged through the hole. Weirdly, for a skull, it seems kind of mushy inside. Odd for a skull, being so dry and everything. Apparently, somebody was storing jam in there. Who knew? Some kind of jam or tomato puree type substance. But you three are now back in the next room.
I do have a quick question, though, just for my spirit ghost. Is there any shoes still left?
Yeah.
I've got both of mine, but you can't.
Okay, just for later.
Zokid's still got one.
Just for later on.
Zokid can pretty much fit his entire what's left of himself inside his shoe.
In his shoe.
It's all now kind of smushed down that it'll fit in his shoe quite nicely. Clagnuts, you are in the land of eternal shoes. There are shoes everywhere.
Everywhere.
All types of shoes. There are buckles and laces and Velcro.
Can I? Is it Zokid who's got the spear?
Yeah. Zokid did have a spear, yes.
Can I have? Oh, did. I was going to say, can I take the spear, jam it into the ceiling, attach a rope to it, and just hang there, and just let the waves of spiders just go past?
Spiders not known for climbing, eh?
No.
It was a nice. I say he's got a fairly low intelligence on it. So.
As you enter this room, as you're in this room again, you notice now that the exit where you were traveling through, or where you were heading towards, you can now see movement on the other side of it.
Let's take a perception check and see.
Find out what sort of movement.
Oh, natural 20 again.
Nice.
I got a natural 1.
Yeah. You can re-roll your 1 and ask him what you saw.
No, I'll leave it with him.
What did I see, Barrel? Tell me. Barrel, you can see that through this room, you can't really make out exactly what it is, but it looks like there's a lot of them. They've all got quite red, kind of bulbous eyes and little kind of black noses. And they seem to be skittering and scurrying. And kind of that similar kind of thing. Yeah, like a mouse, but much bigger.
Yeah.
So rats. I wonder if rats like eating spiders.
I don't know about spiders, but they certainly like homunculi.
So are we now trapped in that room? So we got spiders on one side,
spiders coming up one side and rats coming through the other.
I'm quite glad I died.
Yeah.
Clagnuts. Clagnuts and Zokid, you, having died and experienced death for the first time, you assume, I kind of sat in the middle of this quite nice looking room. But it's weird because it's very big. It's a big old room. Like there's a window to the one side letting in beautiful sunlight, and you can hear birds squeaking or squawking, whatever they do. There's a very thick carpet on the floor. This window's about 80 feet up in the air, mind, and it's about 200 foot high. It's huge glass window. What if you roll a perception check for me? Let's see how perceptive you guys are.
13.
13.
13?
Yeah,
Yep.
you look around and you can see Clagnut is sat probably about 20 feet away from you, about the distance he was the last time you saw him. He's kind of sat there looking quite confused, staring at his shoe, quite happy with himself, to be honest. You're quite pissed. You're going, I recognise that shoe. That's my shoe. I'm having that back. But you also do notice that you kind of recognise this room. This room seems weirdly familiar, but not quite right, because it's way too huge, way too big. And then you notice that sat by the window with its back to you is this giant, huge giant is sat there. Monstrously big thing. What do you do?
Get my shoe back first before anything else.
Before Clagnut nicks it. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Are they not dead now?
Wait and see.
I bet that's going to be God.
Yeah.
It's going to be God in it. What about, should we throw your spear at him? That's a good way to make friends, isn't it?
That's how you make friends with a giant. Hit him with a spear. Okay. Dexterity check for me then.
Oh, we're doing this, okay?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Oh dear.
16.
16. Okay. You kind of, you don't so much throw the spear. As you kind of approach this giant quite carefully, you'll notice that he's wearing a pair of loafers and then some lovely silk trousers. So his ankle and Achilles here and his Achilles tendon are quite nicely exposed. So you kind of walk up to it, kind of check both ways, and then just jam your spear into that bit of skin between the Achilles tendon and the back of his foot. That gets his attention quite quickly. And this giant suddenly jumps up and starts leaping around, screaming all sorts of obscenities. And you're kind of going, this it seems weirdly familiar. I've heard this before. Not only does he sound familiar, but the obscenities, I swear, have been leveled at me before I've heard this. This is very odd. And you break for a moment, and you're looking up at this giant. This giant looks down at you, and he's a very familiar-looking giant. This giant looks a lot like Trevor.
Ah.
And he kind of looks at you, kind of puzzled. And he kind of picks you both up and puts you on the side of his desk where he was sat at. And yes, this is indeed Trevor, but Trevor is now a giant. He's huge. And Trevor looks at you quite puzzled. Clagnut? Zokid? What are you doing here? That's my bit. I'll wait for you. Talk to me. Answer me, man. Answer me, you tiny little morons.
I first of all would say hello, and you look really great, Trevor. We've always wanted to meet you, Trevor, and now we finally have.
Admire his great stature.
Yeah.
What are you two fools talking about? I only saw you 20 minutes ago. Where is my hammer? I sent you to get my hammer. Where is it?
Well, as you are God, Trevor, where is your?
I'm God. Trevor's not God.
Okay.
Trevor's a sorcerer.
Should we ask?
Sorry, I feel like when you explained to Trevor that Thor, Barrel, and the Flagellant tricked us into dying for them, and that we died honorably on the quest, or solo free, betrayed us.
Yeah, and the other three were cowards, but we stood up and fought for your.
We fought on.
Yeah. Is it so? Let me check. And with that, he stands up straight and he claps his hands, and again, there's a bright flash for Barrel, Thor, and Snout. One moment you're being besieged on all sides by giant rats. These things are like the size of an elephant to you. They're monstrously big. And there's these huge spiders are coming at you from the other side, and there's biting and clawing going on. Then suddenly there's a bright flash, and all is white around you, very much like when you first disappeared. This time, though, you suddenly appear, and you're sat on the edge of this desk next to your two fallen comrades, Clagnut and Zokid. And in front of you is a giant Trevor, who's looking at you going, "Where is my hammer?"
Can we do a charisma roll and just lie?
Yeah, give him my spear.
I've got 0 on my charisma.
I've got plus.
Charisma, I got +2. What about
same.
if we tell Trevor that we found his hammer, but it's now invisible?
Yes. Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd go with that. It's magic and invisible.
Or we tell him it's inside the sphere so that he can then break the sphere and then we can find out what on earth is inside it.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I like that.
That's a great one, Thor.
Tell him we found it, but we couldn't bring the spear back. It was too big.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to roll for charisma?
It's not me because I've got 0.
I got +2.
I got +1, so whoever's got +2.
Yeah. Go on then.
Right, Fagnet.
7 for me.
7.
+2. 9.
So 9.
9.
Trevor, before you've even finished trying your bullshit story with him, Trevor is not buying a word of it. He's like, bollocks, not having it. Nah, Where is my hammer? I do not believe you returned without it. I was quite clear. Bring me the hammer.
What about if we say that we got it for him, but Snort stole it and ran off with it?
I'll blame Snort, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all blame
blame me. Yep, blame me.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll take the fall.
Yeah.
Okay, so charisma, if you can make him believe it.
Go on, Clagnets.
All right, so what am I doing? Dexterity, am I? Charisma. Charisma. We have got a 16 + 2, 18.
Okay, Trevor, he doesn't look 100% convinced, but the more you kind of sidle away from Snout and like, yeah, we will have no part of this. It's all on Snout. He picks you up, Snout, and he holds you in front of him. And he just very quietly brings you into his face and goes, "Where is my hammer?"
I lost it.
Where?
It's with them spiders back down there.
Down where?
Well, wherever we were before.
Okay. Where?
In the big globe thing.
Yeah.
In the big globe thing.
Yeah.
With that, Trevor kind of looks at you. He kind of looks you up and down. And just pops you into his mouth.
Oh.
And chews you up.
That's not good.
You're not dead from this. He kind of, after a couple of seconds, just kind of dribbles you back out like a naughty dog dropping a ball somewhere. And you kind of slop onto the table in a big pile of Trevor goop. And you see his eyes roll over. And you've seen Trevor do this before. You know what this is. This is Trevor essentially remembering what you've seen, knowing what you've done. He's chewed you up. He's taken your essence. It's happened before. You've seen him do it to other things. So it's nothing new to you guys. You then see him walk over to the corner of the room. He looks over his shoulder at you, shakes his head quite disapprovingly, claps his hands again, and you all suddenly pop back to your normal 3-foot high size instead of being 3 millimeters high to him or 3 inches high. And you're all kind of sat there on the edge of the desk like naughty children. Trevor walks over to the corner of the room, and you see him kind of stamping in the corner of the room, and the floor caves a little bit, and he pulls the floorboard up from where he's been stamping, and he reaches inside and pulls out a marble, and he brings it over and goes, "This sphere." And there ends the adventure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That was very good. Thank you very much.
Hey.
I thought we did awesome as a team. We did well done, guys.
I think more footwear next time.
More footwear.
Yeah.
Sensible
steel toe cups.
Yeah.
And more fire. We need more fire.
More fire.
Definitely.
I think also throwing somebody holding a spear through, open gaps and stuff is a master tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you all think of your first session of D&D? Did we all enjoy ourselves?
Yes, loved it. Yeah.
It was,
cool.
it was really good. Far better than I thought it was going to be. It's far more sort of interactive plays with your mind in imagination.
And secondly, did you all know what had happened?
No.
Excellent.
I've been drinking cider.
So, for anyone that hadn't quite caught up with it, anyone at home that didn't know this, Polonius the Unlikely, or Trevor the Unlikely in this case, he's called this because he's unlikely to ever get a spell correctly. So, instead of sending you where you're supposed to have been going, all he did was send you about a foot that way.
Oh.
So your entire adventure is literally to fit underneath the floorboards. That the first room that you went into with the pipe was his latrine.
Okay.
So lucky you didn't climb down there. And then literally, you've been walking along the living room where a bird has crawled in there at some point and been killed. Spiders is spiders. You discovered some feathers from the dead bird, and then you discovered a marble that he'd probably lost at some point.
Do we know where his hammer was?
In this part of the story, no. When I've carried on with this, when we've actually had this as a campaign, the homunculi then sent out into the world to go and find Grabthar's hammer, and then many adventures ensue.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the one shot. That's the kind of bit of fun, have a laugh, try not to die horribly or lose toes.
I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
That was
brilliant.
I really enjoyed that.
That was good fun.
Oh, Andy or God, thank you so much for that, sir.
No problem at all.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. It has been a great laugh. Our first ever D&D. Hope you all enjoyed it. And we will be back next week with more fun and frolics. Before we go, is there anything starting off, Barrel, is there anything you'd like to say to your adoring fans?
Right, your
I'll
toes.
see you all soon, hopefully with all my toes again.
Yay! The mighty Thor.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Awesome. Zoid Kid.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed myself, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's been great.
We've had great fun throwing you through holes.
Yeah,
that's been brilliant. Snort.
I'm up for any other games like this that we do on this show. They're brilliant.
Over to the mighty God.
Actually, I do have one bit of it. Annoyingly, kind of today, a copy of Age of Sigmar Dominion has arrived at the shop. So the brand new Age of Sigmar 3.0 has fallen. We haven't had a stock of it yet, but I have had my preview box, so I'm going to do an unboxing of that tomorrow. So check that out on the Geek Show tomorrow evening. Probably I'll try and get it uploaded to that and get an exclusive look inside the new AOS Dominion box.
Ooh. And from me, thank you everybody for watching. Please share, subscribe, all the rest of the stuff. We are back on Saturday, and I think we've got Charlie from The Walking Dead on. Ooh, excellent, guys. Hope you've all had a nice evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday on The Geek Show. Good night.
Bye.